my friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Heather Elizabeth. Welcome to Antique Agenda. And on the agenda for today is we are continuing my list of things that I am looking for in 2023. The items that I plan to collect and decorate my home with in the old world and especially English cottage style. I'm going to start with probably the least trendy. I think that this is definitely not a forecast of things that I think are trending in 2023. This is just a list of things that I'm looking for. And to be quite honest, I think all of these things have been trending for years and years. Okay, so what's first on my list is miniature portraits. Now, I have not gotten lucky enough to find a full hand-painted miniature painting. But I have found some really beautiful lithographs that have hand painting on top. And I absolutely love these ones that I have found until I find an actual miniature painting. These definitely fit the bill. And the little painting on the easel, that is so small. Look at it next to my face. It's a teeny, teeny, tiny little portrait. And these, I think, look so nice, layered in a curio cabinet in between some of your other smaller, beautiful collections. So miniature portraits are probably the least trendy of the things I'm going to share with you all today. But definitely, I am always looking for, and I'm going to be looking for this year. Maybe this is the year that I find an actual teeny tiny painting. We shall see. So number 2 on the list, I really don't need any more of them, but because I know myself, if one comes along my way, I'm going to grab it. And that is sterling silver brushes. These little clothes brushes were part of vanity sets where the Victorian gentlemen and ladies would use it to clean their clothes with, basically a lint brush is what these were for. I love the monograms too. A lot of these are monogrammed. They're just so wonderful because nobody buys these. No one uses these anymore. Eventually, these are all going to disappear. So for some reason, I feel the need to save them. And the sterling brushes are always a lot cheaper than the sterling hand mirrors from these vanity sets. So it's a little more economical if you love the old Victorian vanity idea, but don't want to pay for the pricier hand mirrors. The brushes are a fun alternative. Okay, the third thing on my list is going to be the absolute quintessential English cottage decorative item, and that would be a plaid woolen blanket, such as this. This is a beautiful vintage Pendleton woolen throw blanket. And I absolutely love it. I got it at an estate sale. So this lived a life with another family before it came to mine. But there's something about beautiful tartan plaids that really bring the warmth and English feel to any room. To your bedroom, on the edge of a bed, to your chairs. There's definitely something about wool and the pattern of the plaid that is so good. I love them. I have several different blankets that I use throughout the year, different color patterns for different holidays. I can't recommend enough a beautiful wool plaid blanket. So these are something I never walk away from at sales or thrift shops. And who wants to pick up a plaid blanket at the home store or big box store when you can find such a beautiful vintage example and use that to decorate your home with? Much better for the earth and much better for your pocketbook. So definitely, I think all of us should have at least 2 or 3 of these. So that is on the list. The next thing on my list is definitely trending and becoming increasingly popular with the dark and light academia home decor styles, and that would be vintage butterfly specimens. Now, I have one example that I was able to find at an estate sale, beautifully mounted between two panes of glass. So you get to view the butterflies from the front and from the back. The scientific interest in the study of nature was so high during the Victorian era. I do think a vintage collection of butterflies would be so nice to have. I am happy with the one piece, but I am going to be looking this year for some more vintage mounted butterflies to add to my wall to give it that English library or scientific academic look. So I'm on trend with this one for sure. The next thing on my list is going to be no surprise because I just did a presentation on a history highlight segment of my live chat show on Monday nights, and that is Wedgwood Jasperware. And I already have a collection of the blue, the traditional classic Wedgwood blue trinket boxes. So I have several of those, but I did pick up one piece of sage green earlier this year in January. So I think that's kickstarted my interest to expand on this collection and pick up sage green pieces for 2023. So because I know I can find these at antique shops, I'm going to limit myself to only picking them up if I find them at a thrift store or an estate sale. I'm going to collect Wedgwood Jasperware on a budget. So, but that's on the list. Sage green, Wedgwood Jasperware, thrifty price. The next item on my list is probably one of my favorites because I love needlepoint so much, and that would be small needlework handbags. So that would include tapestry, needlepoint, embroidery, but on the smaller size. I do have one small handbag. It has a beautiful floral design on it, and I wouldn't mind more florals or some wonderful scenes. Sometimes you can find court scenes or landscapes in these beautiful little purses. I would love to find more pieces this year. They do look wonderful hanging on the wall, but I think I have a vision of putting them in a little shadow box, a pretty little display of needlework handbags. My next follow item for 2023 is going to be small Italian Capodimonte floral or fruit arrangements. Really small. We're talking no taller than 4 or 5 inches. So I have found 2 of these and fallen completely in love with them. I can find some Capodimonte where it looks like a little floral dome, almost like a little mushroom. But the 2 that I have look a little more like plants or topiaries, and that's what I want to find, is a few more of those so I can create a little Italian ceramic garden, we'll call it, that I could put in a curio or maybe even set on a window ledge. As you can see, these are really, really small. This one that I have with the flowers. It's so detailed. I love the organic movement and shape of it where it just looks like a little plant. So I would love to have more of these examples of Capodimonte, which aren't easy to find. I've been looking, and so it's still on the list for 2023. I'm gonna keep looking and see if I can find any more little pieces that look more like a plant and not like a domed mushroom. So we'll see if I get lucky this year. Wish me luck. So this next item I want to collect really wasn't on my radar until about a month ago. And that was because I was watching another YouTube channel called Mandy's Old Soul Vintage. And Mandy has quite a passion for this particular item. And it is an antique ironstone syrup pitcher. And when I was watching her channel, I was looking at it, and she has several of these because she loves to collect them and sell them in her Etsy shop as well. And I looked at it and was realizing it's actually the perfect combination of two of my other favorite things to collect, and that is brown transferware and pewter. So the creamy antique ironstone with all the crackles really blends in well with brown transferware. And then the pewter tops tie in to my pewter collection. So it makes an obvious choice for me to have a few beautiful antique syrup pitchers to put in with those other collections and really tie them together. So I'm pretty excited about discovering these little antique syrup pitchers. So thank you, Mandy. And so for 2023, I am going to start collecting these. And as you can tell, I've already picked one up. So this I found at an antique mall for $18, which I think is probably a pretty good price. So very happy with this little purchase and can't wait to find more pretty little syrup pitchers with the tops. I definitely want to find the ones that still have their pewter tops. Next up is going to be, no shocker, it is the category of shoes. So I think that small shoes are absolutely so fun to collect and use in my home decor. I did just find a pair of wonderful little wooden shoes, but I do also have a collection of metal pincushion shoes. And I also love to collect doll shoes. And I also have a collection of baby shoes. So obviously I have a little bit of a weakness for small shoes. The only thing I do not collect, and I'm not particularly interested in, is glass shoes. I think I have enough categories for shoes that glass is going to be collected by some other folks. So we made it to the last item on my list of collections for 2023 part 2. And that last item is antique inkwells. And mainly that's because I picked up this huge bottle that looks like an inkwell back in October. And it's just gorgeous. Beautiful shape, really lovely antique brass lid on this one. And I think that this would be so wonderful if it was accompanied by some antique inkwells. So I'm going to keep a lookout this year for just a few. I think that would make a really nice vignette. So that's the plan, you guys. That's the last item on the list. So I hope you enjoyed some of the things that I shared. Thank you so much for taking a moment to hang out with me today. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I invite you to do so. Please consider giving this video a thumbs up on your way out as well. So thanks again, you guys. Until I see you all again, take care of yourselves and bye for now.